Hi everybody, this is STEM Sally from OSU Extension 4-H. As you know, 4-H is a club, but you don't have to be in a club to do this with us today. We're doing a whole bunch of agri-science activities today that have to do with soybeans. There are soybeans all over our county. You've probably seen them growing in the fields. We actually have one right here, this little guy here, Sammy the soybean plant. And it's kind of spindly looking, and if you look out in the field, you sure don't see anything that looks anything like this. But there's lots of them in there, and they're packed really close together for lots of reasons. They start out looking like this. They're just soybeans. They're just these seeds. And we're going to do all these cool experiments to help you learn all the amazing things that soybeans bring to us. And Ohio grows lots and lots of soybeans. So let's find out everything we can about the agri-science of soybeans. We have kits available. They look like this. They have all the things you're going to need. The very first experiment we're going to do is the soybean seed necklace. Now it seems like, gosh, we could use those as beads and make a necklace, but you know what? We're not going to do that. That's boring. It's been done before. We're going to plant them. So in your packet, in your kit, you'll have a packet with all the experiments. And the very first experiment are the soybean seed necklaces. And we're not going to take a bunch of soybeans and string them like beads onto a necklace. We're going to actually take our little plastic bag and cotton ball and seed and make a living soybean necklace. So it's going to be really interesting. So what you're going to do first is take those things out of the bag, and we're going to take some water. I just happen to have a bottle of water here, and I'm going to wet that cotton ball. Now everybody says, how wet should it be? How wet should it be? Well, if it's dripping all over you, maybe it's a little too wet. We just need to give that soybean enough water so that it can do, whoops, I spilled, so that it can do what we call germinate, which is the germ of the seed turns into a new plant. So we're going to set that soybean right on top of that wet cotton ball, and believe it or not, that's enough moisture to get it started. We're going to set it right back in our little bag so that it can grow. Now, being in this bag isn't a whole lot like being in the ground, but at least it will make it nice and warm, and the sun will be able to get in so that it can sprout, and we can see what's happening. Now I'm going to close it up. If it's super soupy inside and there's tons of extra water in the bottom, you can pour that out, because I've done this a couple times where I put so much water in, my soybean seed rotted, and that was kind of gross, and it didn't sprout. I'd love to show you what happens when they sprout. Let's look at these down here and see what happens from day to day. This is your first soybean, and that's day one. Hasn't even been wet yet. Yours is going to look just like that. And then after a few days, you're going to start seeing the progression of how the seed sprouts. Now the seed, it's so surprising. It doesn't just, wow, make a plant all of a sudden. What it does is sprouts a root first, because we know what roots do, right? Roots are what bring the nutrients and the moisture up from the ground and bring it up into the plant so that the plant can grow. It needs sun too, but the roots start first. So that's what we're going to see first in our soybean packet. Now, do you think my soybean plant is going to fit in this little bag? Yeah, I don't think so either. So once it sprouts a root and a stem, so from one side, the root will come first, remember, and then it sprouts the stem. That's when we take it out. And where should we plant it? What do plants need? You know what plants need. They need sunshine, and they need water more than anything. They need nutrients from the soil, but if there's this many soybeans growing in Ohio, they must be getting what they need. So you're going to transplant it out into your yard eventually when it gets nice and big, when the little sprout gets nice and big and the root gets nice and big. So if you want to make this into a necklace, in your kit you have a piece of string, and we're going to actually take that piece of string and feed it through without knocking my kid off, and feed it through the hole. And then we're going to actually make it into a soybean necklace that we can wear. Do it any way that works for you. I like to do it this way because I want to make sure that I can see it in the front. And then I'll tie it around my neck, and I have a beautiful soybean seed necklace. I think I'm going to tie it now so that I can wear it for the rest of the experiments because I really like it. So that's experiment 1, soybean seed necklaces. And I hope you make yours, and I hope your soybean sprouts, and you can realize that you can grow exactly what you're driving by in all those fields in Ohio. It won't go over my head. Now we got it on. We had to do a little something fancy to make it fit on me, but it's beautiful. I hope you wear yours as well. I have to go out in the sun so that it'll grow. And when it's not around my neck, I want to make sure I leave it in the sun. So there we go. There's our soybean seed necklace.